time, no time, so please hear me out. These are the last few words that I'd like to say to you all. This is my last call. Tell my wife I love her and that I won't be home tonight. Thank her for those long, hard years that we tried to get it right. Tell her I'll be waiting after she makes it through it all. This is my last call. But ask her to forgive me. Tell her I'm sorry. That I can't be the man that she's gonna need. Tell her I'll be waiting where the winter meets the fall. This is my last call. Tell my children that I love them. Oh yeah, that daddy always loved them so. Tell them to hold their mother tight and to never let her go. Tell them I'll always be watching, looking over them through it all. This is my last call. Tell him to fight for me. Do what's right for me. Choose the light for me. But don't ever forget me. Tell them I'll always be watching, and I'll be there when they fall. This is my last call. To those who serve beside me and who held that thin blue line, stand tall, stand strong, hold your head up high. I'm sorry I let you down today, but please know I gave my all. This is my last call. Raise your glass for me. And kick the knife for me. Ring a bell for me. Send 'em straight to hell for me. I tried to think I saved a few good lives, but I couldn't save them all. This is my last call. Yeah, I'd like to think I saved a few good lives, but I couldn't save my own. This is my last call.
There you have it, folks. Sorry about that dead air for a couple of minutes. That was Dave Bray's tune, Last Call. You can head over to http://tobtr.com/s/893-5847. tobtr.com/s/893-5847. to hear it right from the horse's mouth what inspired that song, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It was a great interview with Dave Bray, most patriotic rocker in America. That song was done for the men and women killed in the line of duty in our law enforcement agencies across this country. Head over to bravedayusa.com. Make sure you check out the video of that song. It's pretty unbelievable. But folks, tonight we have a horrible story. Excuse me, I'm still fighting this cold. My voice has come back a little bit. So you don't have to deal with Wolfman Jack tonight, but here we are. There is a gentleman whose son, who wishes to remain anonymous at this time, had his PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder syndrome, therapy service dog murdered with a bullet to the head. This is a damn disgrace. And we have his father is going to come on the line and make a plea for the dog. We feel this is very important. And if you have any connections out there and you want to maybe help out and maybe try to get another PTSD service dog or do whatever we can to help this gentleman. Excuse me. But I'm going to welcome him to the show right now. Welcome to the show, Craig. Thanks for holding on. I'm sorry for coughing in your ear. I am still battling this little cold, but it's going away slowly but surely. How are you, sir? Hello, Craig. Are you there? All right, folks. He must have you on mute or something on his phone. He's maybe stepped away from his phone, but he's online right now. When he picks his phone back up, we'll get him back on the show. Yeah, it's really horrifying stuff. What's going on all across this country to our veterans. You know, people are still waiting on VA waiting lists for health care. We got homeless veterans living under bridges, going hungry night after night. It's pretty unbelievable. Hold on, I got someone here trying to chime in, saying they're in the queue, and I don't see them. It's some important information. Craig, if you're there, sir, pick up the line. I see that you're there. I talked to you a second ago. You're not there right now. I don't know what happened. We have a bad connection, or what's the story? I refreshed the page here at the radio studio, see if that works. In the meantime, Shar, what's happening? I found you.
Hey, Mark. This issue right here just burns my buns. I am a veteran. I have PTSD, but it's not combat related, and that's as far as I'm going to go into it. I have a dog. She is training to be a service animal. And I'm very versed in not just the federal but Texas laws with regard to service animals. And as an advocate for veterans and others who have service animals, I'm very good at Googling and researching the laws. So I took it upon myself before your show to Google the Missouri Assistance Animal Law. And I found that according to their statute, 209.202, causing injury to or death of a service dog is a misdemeanor and can result in civil damages.
Right.
And these damages that can be awarded under this section include the replacement value of an equally trained service dog without any differentiation for the age or experience of the service dog. That can be good or bad for the person who needs the new dog. The cost and expenses incurred by the owner of a service dog or the person with a disability who used the service dog, including the cost of temporary replacement services, whether provided by another service dog or by a person, the reasonable costs incurred in an effort to recover a stolen service dog, and this is the best part, court costs and attorney fees incurred in bringing a civil action under subsection 5 of this section.
So in other words, it's very important that we find the person that killed this dog, because they are capable of receiving misdemeanor charges, covering the lawyer fees and court costs of the gentleman whose dog was murdered, as well as replacement of equal or lesser. Is there a lesser value? No, there's no less value of a service dog. They're all important.
Correct.
Equal value service dog.
Correct.
And what's that law again? What's the number of that law again?
209.202. The actual title is, well, let me see. Let me come up here and look at it correctly, because I'm not looking on, I'm looking at Vernon's annotated law. I'm not looking at the Missouri statute page. It's Title 12, Public Health and Welfare, Chapter 209, Aid to the Blind, Rights of Persons with Visual, Hearing, or Physical Disabilities, Blind Pensions, and it just goes on further. But service dogs are not necessarily only for people who are blind or hearing impaired, which is recognized by the state of Missouri under this statute.
Right. Craig, are you with us now, sir?
Yes. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. I still have your other phone. It's on hold.
Yeah, I thought I lost you, so I got two phones on. Thank you.
Gotcha. Yeah, both phones are on the 529 number. You can dump that one if you want. That's the one that's just on hold right now.
Okay, okay.
And all right, I don't know if you heard that, but there are laws in Missouri that protect service dogs, and we got to find this guy. Where exactly did this occur, though? Did this occur in Missouri?
It was in Fort Smith, Greenwood, Arkansas.
Ah, well, let me Google that. Let me Google Arkansas law.
We'll find it. We'll find out the laws that are there to protect service dogs and what's happening. And when was the last time that your son saw the dog alive, and between the time he found the dog?
Well, he was at work at Army Reserve Base, and he found it on the front porch dead at 22:30 on Memorial Day.
It's unbelievable. No less on Memorial Day. Now, do you guys think this is some kind of warning or a message from somebody trying to say, hey, look, we're watching you? Or is this just a random act? The dogs don't bark. There's not a barking, yapping dog in the yard where somebody might get mad, even though that doesn't mean they should go over there and shoot it. But, the service dogs aren't usually yapping and barking and going crazy anyway, as far as I know, my experience with service dogs.
Right. Well, you're exactly correct. And he just came home from his work at the Army Reserve Base, the 341st Engineering Company, and found the dog dead on his porch. And I think you guys have the photos of that.
We've seen the picture, and it's just atrocious. Now, are there any leads now at this time?
No.
He doesn't know of any enemies that he might have that someone might want to do this to his dog.
He's a very kind person. I mean, he is. Right. Everybody likes him. So.
Well, he's got one enemy anyway. Anybody who would do this to your dog is obviously your enemy.
Right.
So there's one enemy out there.
Right.
Because I have a friend of mine who's got an investigative team who could get right on this and start investigating and looking into it and try to track this guy down. Whoever did this to the dog. It could have even been a lady. We don't want to just single out men. It could have been a woman,
right.
too. Who knows?
Right. Mark?
It could have
been
an Islamic jihadist, but we don't use those words because,
we do on Patriot Nation Radio. We're not politically correct.
I have some
Charlotte, go
good
ahead,
news.
my friend.
I have some
Yes,
good
ma'am.
news because this occurred in Arkansas. It is considered to be a Class D felony in Arkansas. Any person who, without just cause, purposely kills or injures any service animal described in this section or any search and rescue dog is guilty of a Class D felony.
All the more reason we got to try to find this guy.
Yeah, let's go get him. I mean, I thought if I knew who he was or she or it, I'd be down there right now, but I just don't know.
Well, we have some folks that are on standby and ready to go investigate and look into this case. You just have to have your son get in touch with my friend Billy. You know who I'm talking about. He's a hardcore advocate for veterans. He's a creator of the Take a Pause movement. He's got some people ready to go to find this guy who did this. He just has to make contact with you guys and talk about what we can do and where we can start. Obviously, we start on the front steps where the dog was found. And you said it was, to me earlier, it was a long driveway, a long dirt driveway. You didn't notice any footprints or anything like that, any evidence that you could see, or
That's
whoever
correct.
was looking.
There was about 10 feet of blood drop, but there's no tire marks or footprints because it was gravel driveway.
Right. Well, like I said, when you get a chance, make sure you get back in touch with Billy on our group chat. Get some information so that he can send a team out there and they can start looking into what happened to this dog. If it's a Class D felony, this person could be doing some serious jail time for shooting that dog. And that's all they deserve is some jail time because your son is serving still his country. And it's very important that he has his therapy, avenues to continue to stay on the straight and narrow and not lose his mind because 22 a day are committing suicide in this country, and we don't want this young man to fall into that trap and become a statistic because some fool decided to shoot his therapy dog.
Yes, sir. They've had multiple divorces and multiple suicides out of his unit, so I don't want to see that happen.
And it's a travesty because these poor guys aren't getting the help they need, and that's why they're turning to this alternative. It's very important that we help each and every veteran that we can, especially those suffering from PTSD or other ailments. Because so many guys are on waiting lists and they can't get help. I know a guy, he's out in Nevada, and he's the dead Marine walking. His name is David Hart. And that poor guy went into a doctor's office. Listen to this. And the director of the VA hospital there came in and propositioned him for sexual favors. And when he denied him, his case took a turn for the worse. They won't even see him. They won't help him. The congressman won't help him. Nobody's helping him. And this poor guy is going to die. And he got bone cancer. He had a separated shoulder and a torn Achilles heel. He can't walk. He's half blind. And he can't get no help. And he's slowly dying. And it's a shame that this is happening in our country, even to one person, any citizen of this country, as illegal immigrants and refugees pour into our country and get everything handed to them from phones and cars and EBT cards and welfare, housing, electrical bills paid, and everything, while veterans suffer. And no one helps out and no one reaches out to these guys. Excuse me, and I think it's very important that we bring a message out anytime something bad happens to a veteran, especially when their service dog is murdered in cold blood. So please reach out to Billy. Have your son reach out to Billy and let him help you guys so we can track this guy down and give him the justice he deserves for murdering this poor dog. How old was the dog again?
Well, my son raised him from, the dog was 5 months old, and my son took him right after he was nurtured past having to, have his mom there. So the dog was 5 months old, just a pup.
So 5-month-old little pup, never had a chance, was helping out this gentleman with his PTSD because our friend that's on the line with us also has a service dog. Is that correct? You said your dog's a service dog and helps you with your PTSD, Shaw?
That's correct.
Well,
She does. She's a service dog in training, but she surely does. She just has this heart, and I know you guys. Totally off topic, but I know you guys know that my man Jim had some, personal things happen this week, and when he was in distress, she was right up there with him and calming him down. So yeah, she's got it.
There's nothing like the love of a pet, almost. It's totally different than the love you can get from a human. It's unconditional, and they're always there by your side. And I could see how they would be very therapeutic. It was when I'm frustrated and I'm angry. My cat is therapeutic, believe it or not. When she comes by you, she knows when you're stressed out or sad,
Mhm.
and she comes and lays by you and purrs and rubs on you. And she knows when you're sad or blue. It's strange how they pick up on this. Their senses are amazing. Excuse me, still battling this cold, as you can tell, Shark.
Yes, I can. Bless your heart. The thing to remember with service animals, though, not just from the Americans with Disabilities Act, which is the federal law that covers them, their access, their allowance, and what disabilities are covered by them, but also each state has its own version thereof. Service animals have a higher standard to follow than your pet. Even though your pet can be a therapy animal or an emotional support animal and can come under certain allowances, a service animal has a much higher standard to meet. While there's no requirement under any law for them to be registered, or in most states they are not required to be trained by any specific entity, one can't, meaning that I can train my own animal, thereby saving me time and money that I don't have as a disabled person. This is why so many states, such as in this case, thank God, Arkansas having it as a Class D felony as opposed to Missouri, a Class 3 misdemeanor or Class A misdemeanor, I think it was, because these animals provide more than just emotional support. A lot of service animals for physically handicapped people literally open refrigerators, fetch food, fetch medications, ensure that medications are taken on time. Service animals that respond to epileptic folks are able to notice when a seizure is coming on and help that person to respond appropriately. So service animals are much more than just a pet, and as such, they have a much higher standard to follow in the public, and their access needs to be allowed. There's a two-edged sword to that, but when one is murdered, when a service animal is murdered or injured through no fault of their own, we're not talking about euthanizing them. We're not talking about them running in front of a car and accidentally being hit by a driver. But in the cases what happened here at Fort Smith, it's a huge loss to that individual who relies upon that animal to help them get through their day-to-day living. That is the standard a service animal has to meet, that they have to help the individual accomplish 2 or more daily living tasks. And in the case of therapy type, for those of us with mental health issues, which of course PTSD falls under, they have to help us be able to cope with 2 or more day-to-day living issues.
Right on. And Craig, what would you like to accomplish with this show? Tell folks where you stand and how you really feel about this whole situation. So maybe we got to try to get some help out there to this area. And like I said, please contact Billy and get your son to contact him too, so that we can get the ball rolling here and try and get this investigation started. Because what have the police said in the area? Have they even done anything? They've done nothing.
Well,
no media coverage, nothing, right?
Well, my son has not filed a report, but I reprimanded him today for not doing that. So,
right.
If I have to do it myself,
it's probably time to still do that. I mean, it was just Memorial Day. This is only the 5th of June. It's a couple days ago. It's last week. So there's probably still time to file a complaint. It's probably not too late.
Right. Yes, sir. One of my best friends is William Paul Joseph Debeck, and he was a German Shepherd handler during Vietnam. And he always refers to his shepherds as the best friend ever.
Right. Well, dogs are the man's best friend.
Yeah, let me just say, I asked him how many shepherds made it back from Vietnam. He said 0. They all took a bullet.
That's unbelievable. And they died in the service of their country. Folks, Memorial Day is also about our service animals because, a lot of these guys rely on their dogs when they're out there in the field. They're very important on the battlefield, some of these dogs, for many reasons. Sniffing out mines, cadaver dogs, helping find lost soldiers, and more. They're an alarm system. If someone comes creeping up on the camp in the darkness of night, you have an alarm system right there. That dog will start barking, save some lives. They're very important. People don't understand the importance of service animals. Well, we're going to tell you how important they are. They help folks in stressful situations who've been on battlefields and suffering from post-traumatic distress syndrome, also known as PTSD. And they save lives. These dogs are saving lives. And someone murdered this guy's dog. So if you're in this area, in the Fort Smith, you said Fort Smith, Arkansas area, correct? Folks,
yes, near Fort Smith.
You're in that area, and you heard anything. If you know anything, if you heard a peep, if you were sitting at the diner having a cup of coffee and you heard some guy talking to his friend about killing a dog, say something. There's a $5,000 reward for the capture and arrest and prosecution of the person that did this, correct?
Yes, sir.
There's a $5,000 reward out there, folks, if you assist in the capture of this guy or girl who killed this dog. If you ask me, this is an act of terrorism. They're charging people. They like to throw that word around now. They like to call people terrorists all the time because, the reason they're doing that is because the Patriot Act and the National Defense Authorization Act, once classified as a terrorist, you lose your constitutional rights. So that's why they just so freely to throw that around, unless you're a Black Lives Matter protester or a La Raza illegal immigrant at a Trump rally. You can do whatever you want. You can burn down whole cities. You can attack people. You can corner little women in corners and egg them. And you're not a terrorist, but everybody else is a terrorist, I guess, including our fine friends in Oregon and Nevada, some of which are still floating around in solitary confinement for having a First Amendment rally backed by their Second Amendment constitutional rally, guaranteed by our founding fathers' insight and foresight.
Hey, Mark.
Yes, ma'am.
Part of the Arkansas statute says that any person who kills or injures any service animal described in this section or any search and rescue dog shall make restitution to the owner of the animal. I suggest that the award money being offered, they sue him or her to pay that award money. That's restitution.
Yep, throw that in too. Yep, absolutely. We definitely got to try to get something done here to find the killer of this dog because it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. The dog, I guarantee you, would never want to go to the bathroom in the girls' room. It's a good dog. You know what I mean? But not to be joking around too much. I feel this is a very serious issue. And folks, if you're in that area and if you know anything, you have to come forward. You have to come forward. It's very important. We cannot let this person get away with this. My blood boiled when I first saw the picture. I started reaching out immediately upon seeing the picture to find you, Craig. And it didn't take long. I'm pretty resilient. With Facebook nowadays, it's real easy to just get out there and communicate with people. It's a fine tool, especially for internet radio. So with that, I want to get ready to just kind of wrap this up here because this cold is killing me and I got to get up at 4:30 in the morning and go to work. If there's anything that you would like us to know, Craig, a website, maybe there's a GoFundMe account for legal fees or something that you want to promote, you can do that now. If not, we'll just keep plugging away and try to help you find the perpetrator of this crime. But go ahead and tell us how we can contact you or help you in this matter further.
Yes, sir. I think you have my phone number and my email address, so you're welcome to call at any time, and let's just get the guy.
Right. And is there any information if someone tracks them down or has a lead where they can call and leave the information if they might have a lead on this case?
Well, I'm going to be interviewed by the Southwest Times Record newspaper very soon, and they will be able to provide information via a lockbox how to get in touch with the perpetrator.
Excellent. All right. Well, I don't know what you're doing tomorrow night, but my friend here that joined us tonight, Shaw, she's the Lady Federalist, also has a show Friday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. right here on the Patriot Nation Radio Network, the Lady Federalist. But we're doing Constitution 101 on Patriot Nation Radio on Monday night. It's Constitution 101, like I said. And this week is Article 1. We're going to start it off. There's 10 sections to Article 1, so we'll go through as many as we need to or we can in the hour. And then we'll move on to the rest of the Article 1 and keep on cruising through the Constitution until we wrap it up. We're going to have specials like the Red Amendment. We're going to talk about the 14th Amendment, how it usurped the whole Constitution and everything we know and love about America. The missing 13th Amendment, we're going to have an episode on that. That went out the window just around the same time as the end of the Civil War and the Act of 1871 and some of the Reconstruction Acts of 1868, 69, stuff like that, way back when, right after the Civil War, when the Rothschilds bought America. So we'll be really touching on the Constitution. And then Thursday night, this Thursday, I will have the walking veteran. His name is Tom. He's walking to D.C. He's bringing awareness to veterans' causes. I will also have an update from our good friend and new fan of Patriot Nation Radio, Tim, the saluting Marine Chambers, who salutes at Rolling Thunder every year for, 20 years now or something. And this year he got married, and he had his bride out there with him. It's pretty cool. And they had a nice dinner and stuff. We're going to get an update from him. And then I have a guy who's also a veteran, and he's campaigning across America. He's Roy Backpack Barrett. He's running as an independent candidate, and he's walking all around the country, meeting and greeting people. He's got a backpack on, and he's walking and walking and walking. We're going to talk to Roy Backpack Barrett. It's going to be a veteran-packed Thursday night show, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right after James Bostic's show, A Conservative Perspective. That starts at 7 p.m. right here on the Patriot Nation Radio Network and Patriot Nation Radio and Conservative Perspective. I also want to shout out to my friend Keeper. He's got a great show on Wednesdays. Keeper's Mindful. Search him out. I'm not exactly sure of his exact web address, but he's got a great show going on. Maybe one day we can goad him over to the Patriot Nation Radio Network. But, that's this week, Monday and Thursday. So if you got nothing going on, and if you can't make it Monday and Thursday, be sure to tune in Friday for our good friend Shaw. Got a great show going on. Now, we do have a couple of callers on the line. I don't know if they have anything to add. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to tell them if they have something to add, some information, please press 1. Someone press 1 will pick up the phone. How you doing? You're on the line at Patriot Nation Radio on the Patriot Nation Radio Network with my good friend Shar and Greg, whose son's dog was senselessly murdered. You have something to add?
Hi, this is Gail Whitwright from Connecticut.
Hello, Gail. How are you? How are you, ma'am? Nice to talk to you again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Gail. She's Proposition USA, another great thing right there. Make sure you check out Proposition USA on Facebook.
Yes, PropositionUSA.com. Our goal is to bring our country back and to help our veterans. And this is the second time today that I've seen where technology is, becoming a crime fighter. There was also a picture of an American being assaulted. Unfortunately, I don't know if it was San Jose or San Diego, but there was this guy that was chasing him, and they got the guy's name, and now the whole country's he's from Minnesota, and the whole country is looking for him. And I think we really should work together in your situation with this beautiful dog being murdered, and then the guy in San Diego, being assaulted. But what a great way to get the word out and to really spread around to solve some of these crimes.
Yeah, and social media and alternative radio is a fine tool to try and do the job that our government and our law enforcement agencies seem to be failing to do these days. And this stuff that's going on at the Trump rallies, to me, is just unbelievable. It kind of harkens to history when Hitler had his brown shirts doing the same thing, going to his opposition candidates and harassing with violence the people that were supporting other candidates. The same shit, excuse my language, is happening here at the Trump rally. This is fascism. This is intimidation. This is voter suppression at its finest. They're trying to scare us into not voting. Well, guess what, folks? I back my Republican candidate 100%, and I am voting for Donald Trump.
Yes.
I'm all over the place. You can find me. You want something to say, you come say it to me. I'm not afraid of you, and I'm not going to let you throw eggs at my head. I'm not no little girl. You notice they don't do that to grown men. They do it mostly to little girls or individuals that are with only 2 or 3 people. They never come up on a crowd. These guys are cowards, and they're being paid $15 an hour right now. They're being paid to do this with room and board as well, to do this. And this is being paid for by George.
I also have something to share, too. The mayor of San Jose, Mayor Sam, and his last name is Liccavdo. He is the one that kind of encouraged this as far as standing down. And I called his phone number in California on Friday, so we should all call on Monday to look him up. He's the mayor of San Jose, and he certainly wasn't advocating protecting the Trump supporters. His number in California is 408-535-4800. That's the mayor. Check it out and call him.
What was the area code again?
The area code is 408, and his number is 535-4800. Mayor Sam, Liccavdo, apparently. And he certainly, was. I think the people that got attacked should sue the city for not protecting them.
Yeah, there should be a lot of stuff going on.
Definitely. I love San Diego. I went to San Diego State, and it's a great town, great city.
Well, maybe it was a great city at some time, because apparently they let it fall to pieces. I don't know.
The whole state of California, thanks to Governor Moonbeam.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for letting me share.
You got it. No problem. Thanks for always tuning in and listening, Gail. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to check out ProppositionUSA.com, another great organization helping veterans. And, of course, we got Freedom Home for the Forgotten, John and Benita Pate doing great things for veterans every single day. And we got Veterans on Patrol in Arizona, Lewis Arthur and them guys doing great things for veterans every day. There are people out here fighting for our veterans every day, folks, doing the things that our government is failing our veterans on. As Mexicans, Guatemalans, Polish people, German people, Chinese people, Syrian refugees come here to our country illegally and suck up the benefits that our veterans deserve. Craig, we're going to try real hard. We're going to keep battling. Make sure you get in touch with Billy and get all the information to him that he needs so that they can get some investigators going on this case and find this guy who killed this dog. It's very important. And again, folks, if you're in the Fort Smith, Arkansas area and you have any kind of clues or hints, reach out to me on Facebook and I'll make the connection with Craig. And I'm Mark Hoffman. Find me all over Patriot Nation radio pages and all over Facebook. Just type in Patriot Nation Radio, type in Mark Hoffman. You can't miss me. I don't hide. I am who I am, and I don't hide behind fake names and nothing. I have nothing to hide. I'm a free American. So here I am, speaking my mind and telling you how it is. And, Craig, I want to thank you for coming on again. Gail and Shar, I want to thank you guys for coming on and helping out with the show tonight.
Absolutely.
Anytime.
You're welcome.
Get better, Mark.
Have a nice day.
Craig,
Thank you.
reach out
I'll
to
be
me
in
as
touch.
well.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll put us all in touch so that we can all keep trying to help out and try to get this case solved. And I'm going to leave off with a great song here. One of my favorites. It's a good friend of mine, was the lead singer of this band for a while. This is Dave Bray leading Madison Rising in the Star Spangled Banner. If you haven't heard the version of this song, stay on the line. Don't hang up until it's over. It's one of the greatest versions of the Star Spangled Banner you will ever hear. This is Madison Rising with frontman Dave Bray and the Star Spangled Banner. Until we meet again, good night and God bless America. Thanks for tuning in to the Patriot Nation Radio Network. Take care.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. Can the rockets trembling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land under the praise and the home of the brave? Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight you in the name of the brave. We are the U.S. of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save. Land of the brave, the U.S. of A. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the brave and the home of the
The Patriot Nation Radio Network on Blog Talk Radio. Good night. God bless America.